Welcome back everybody to another Fast Flips where we go out, buy a car, do it up, make some money. But this time it's different. This time it's for charity. Let's go and buy our car. Right, we're on our way. So the car we're going to see, you probably saw on the thumbnail, it's a Series 1 Lotus Elise. It's a very early one. I worked on this exact same car for John, the owner, 25 years ago. Now John was my boss at the time. He gave me my first job when I was 15, starting out as a mechanic, and he bought it to use as a daily driver when his V8 Morgan gave up the ghost. What an awesome daily driver. Now the Lotus Elise, it first came out in 1996 and it came out with a Rover 1.8 K series engine in with a whopping 118 horsepower. Oof. But it don't sound like much, but the chassis I think weighs 70 kilograms, the aluminium chassis, and from what I remember driving it, it went like stink and it felt like you were driving a go-kart. It was absolutely awesome. Now John's owned it for 25 years. It's not going to be in the same condition as it was, but hopefully it's not too far off. Now these early Series 1 Elises go from between 15 and 18 grand if they're mint. He wants 10 for it, but you know, we've got to look at the condition. So yeah, we're nearly there. Luckily it's just up the road. Let's have a look at it. Let's go. So here we are at John's house. It's a lovely house, set into the side of the Malvern Hills, mint views. What an awesome place. Our Elise is in the garage, so let's go and have a look at it. And there she is, little beauty. As you can tell, it's been sat in here a while. John reckons it was about 10 years ago he parked it up, put the cover on it. He did say it was running and driving perfect, so hopefully it's just going to need probably brakes, I expect, and a good service and a good wash, and it'll be all right. It doesn't smell damp in here. It is the summer though, but we got some indoor fauna. Hopefully that absorbs some of the moisture. And yeah, the car's going to be all right. I'll start clearing off all this junk and I'll say about today's charity, which is going to be the Birmingham Children's Hospital, that we're going to hopefully make a lot of money for. So let's get cracking with the clear up. Oops. So why the Birmingham Children's Hospital? Well, a few months back we had the absolute horrible news. My 14-year-old son has cancer, which was awful. Now, I can change that to my son had cancer thanks to the Birmingham Children's Hospital and everybody involved in his care. They were quick to find it, quick to remove it, and the outcome now, because it was so fast, is it's gone and we've just got to go back every 3 months for a scan. And yeah, the outlook is real good thanks to them. Now, the Birmingham Children's Hospital, it's real hard to explain. It's a nice place to be in horrible circumstances is the only way to explain it. It's horrible because it's packed full of kids that are ill. You know, it's so saddening, but it has to be a nice place for the kids, you know, not scary. So the NHS side covers all the medical stuff, but the charity helps the experience for the kids going through such a horrible time in their life, which yeah, is real worthy, I think. Right, enough talking. I'm going to carry on clearing this stuff and then we'll get the car outside, have a look what it's like. Let's crack on. So now we've seen the car, we might have to change the intro a bit. Let's go. Welcome everybody to another Fast-ish Flips. Today's car is a Series 1 Lotus Elise. So I was hoping to push it out the garage nice and easily, get John telling us about the history of the car as long as he's had it, but what a mission it was just to go out the back. All the brakes totally solid and stuck on it, to come home, get the skates and go back up there so I could actually move it out onto the truck and get it in here. In the back we got that Rover K Series engine. That oil's been in there 10 years now, and it's got an old cambout, so it's just risky, isn't it? You fire it up, the cambout breaks, that's a lot more to do. So we know we've got loads of work on the brakes, engine, and the bodywork, unfortunately. You look at the front wing over there, that's got a massive scuff in it. This front end is covered in stone chips and there's a massive scratch on it. We got scratches down the quarters, chips in the door. Yeah, we got a lot of work ahead of us, especially on this roof, which John had specially made because, I mean, he was in his 70s, couldn't get in and out the car with a standard roof on, so it's all on poppers. He said it's good up to 50 mile an hour and then it just shoots off. So we got drill holes where every popper is. Yeah, that's why it's now fast-ish flips. A lot of work to do, but we're gonna make a mint car after when it's done. I think the first thing to do is the engine. Let's get it running, let's make sure it's okay. But that's a job for tomorrow because it's tea time. See you in the morning. Welcome back, Monday morning, bright and early. I've already had my workout pushing this on the ramp. Lucky I'm a big strong boy. That's a bit smelly now. Right, so we'll get into the engine today, make sure the head gasket's good, which was known to being rubbish on these K-Series engines. The thing I noticed yesterday, there's nothing like a boot rod or whatever to hold this boot up when you're working on it, which is a bit of a pain. There's this little sort of plastic flap thing, and that goes over and locks in there so you can get in the boot, which has actually got our roofing and it's got poppers on it. So I wonder if them poppers do, oh, it's full of nuts and stuff that's been chewed in here. Oh dear, there's a hole in the roof. Well, that's another job. Well, let's just get this plastic and this boot off so we can get in the engine a bit better. Let's go. Another thing I've noticed on this is the aerial. The connector's just missing, been damaged or fallen off. So that's another thing we got to buy. And all of these were loose. Bonus, I suppose at least they didn't snap. And with the last one out, put a temporary boot prop down. There we go. That's nice and light, isn't it? Hey, that's much better. We can actually see what we're doing now. So, the Rover head gasket. The original one was like a very thin piece of metal with what looked like orange silicone sealer that they let go hard just round the bits they wanted sealing. It was an awful design. I used to do loads of them back in the day. There are companies now that do this, which is a bimetal head gasket, so it's loads of thin layers of metal, which allows you to get a good squash and a good seal in there. I think most of the early Elises, if not all of them, came with the original Rover gasket, so a lot of people, owners of these cars, just changed them for the uprated one. I don't know what this one's got on it. I don't know if it's been done. John didn't say, but yeah, let's test that first and we'll go from there. We need the pressure tester. Rover is green. That one. So for those of you who don't know what this is, basically we got the expansion tank where we put the water in. If we take the cap off, let's just check the level. Yeah, it's spot on, which is good news for a start. Then this cap screws on tight, and then we just connect our pressure pumper thingy majiggy. And basically we're going to put pressure in the coolant system, in the water in the engine, and wherever it could leak, it's going to make it hammer out. And hopefully it's not going to hammer out where the head gasket is. I think I'll set it at 10. And then we'll just leave it at that for a bit. And hopefully it's not going to go down. Fingers crossed. So in the 2 minutes it took me to make a cup of tea, our pressure has dropped to, what's that, 8? So losing pressure means losing coolant somewhere, and I can see we've got a puddle forming under the car, which is good in a way, because if it was a head gasket, the coolant leaks into the oil or into the combustion area where the fuel's burnt. So this has got to be an external leak. Where did the pipes come? Yeah, there we go. I can see there the top coolant hose. If I move it, it's hammering out. So yeah, this does work, which is ideal. I think I'm going to just do that up and then redo it to 10 and let it sit again. Did find it though, didn't it? Welcome back everybody to another fast-ish flips. So I put pressure back in the coolant system and again it went down, and this time I found a leak from the offside sill area. It was absolutely hammering out. I traced this back to the bottom coolant hose where it comes round and goes in the chassis. The Jubilee clip was loose. Again, I pumped up the coolant system and it lost pressure again. So this time I thought I'd have a look inside. I took out the spark plugs and they look proper bad. Almost look like the original ones. I remember years ago I bought a special camera, boroscope, and this one is cool because when you move this lever, the camera can actually turn back on itself and look up inside the engine. So I put this down the spark plug holes and yeah, it all looks all right in there. Nice and dry, can't see any coolant until I put it down cylinder number 2. You can see little droplets of water there on top of the piston and round the edge. And then spinning the camera back the other way and getting it lined up, I can see the slightest of a dribble just out of this place, exactly where the head gasket is. Nightmare. So using this camera, put it down the back of the engine just to see what head gasket we got, and fumbling around, I can see a bit of orange. Now that orange looks exactly like the NAF head gasket, the one with all the problems. So yeah, that's another job we got to do. Now John was probably right, it probably was driving and riding fine 10 years ago when he parked it up, but those head gaskets are that bad, they just degrade and start leaking. They're a shocking design. I did get some money off, which is good, so I'll leave it to you. Tell me in the comments, how much do you reckon I bought this car for? I'll top up all the costs at the end once we've finished it, and we'll work out how much profit we got for our Birmingham Children's Hospital charity. So the next video, I'm just gonna rip it to bits and crack on. So I'll see you next time. Ta-da.